I remember that this was another very long hearing. It lasted almost 3 hours. And my most vivid memory from that evening, from being in that hearing, was towards the very end of my speech. I asked everyone in support of the project to please stand.
Chino Hills has been a great home for our congregation. When we reach out to the community responds. And for that, we are truly grateful. Indeed, the community's response toward our congregation and our organization through this process has been incredible and heartwarming. Many, many letters of support have been written, and tonight the support from our community members has been simply overwhelming. If I may, I'd like to ask the audience to please stand to show their support for our organization through this process. In addition to the people you see standing here, there are 140 to 150 Chino Hills residents who support this project standing outside as well.
This was such a different scene from the hearing prior in 2004, and all of those standing, they were our neighbors in the community. They were embracing us as a part of Chino Hills.
When I got the message, that's for me, it's like, it's an incredible, everybody's raising their hand that they want to speak on behalf of BAPS. And then when they asked who wants to speak against this, and only one person raised their hand, it was an indication clearly कि भगवान पर age meeting में बैठा था.
So here tonight is probably leaning more no than yes, even after talking to many of you for many days. So right now I'm leaning a little bit more yes than no. So, with that, fine.
You were looking for a motion?
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Aye. Sure.
Our faith, while we want to say it was unflinching, it was shaky at that time, right? We had a little bit of doubt. But after that first vote, and the second vote, and eventually the third and the fourth vote, it became clear to us that Pramukh Swami Maharaj's words would ring absolutely true. The mandir was given an unbelievable 5-0 vote at the end of the public hearing in 2011.
When the vote came through 5-0, we were, it was like excitement, we were exuberant, and just a sense of pride that, hey, we all came together, not just the volunteers, not just the members of BAPS, but as a community, the city of Chino Hills, the various, faith organizations in the city, different businesses, we all came together to support this project.
Because you can build incredible things, right? Swami Maharaj says it doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you do it.
The mandir today, it stands as a testament to faith, sacrifice, love, dedication. The community, friends, and families that visit, they're obviously very awed by the intricate architecture and the feelings of peace. But even more so, they are inspired by the journey of faith and dedication.
Mandirs have touched countless lives, serving not just as places of worship, but as sanctuaries of peace, learning, and community. They have been spaces where people find peace during difficult times and reconnect with their roots. Through spiritual discourses, cultural programs, and community services, mandirs have nurtured minds, uplifted spirits, and fostered unity across diverse communities.
The impact of mandirs goes far beyond rituals, far beyond prayer. Mandirs have shaped lives and guided people on a path of positivity and purpose.
In 2015 July માં મારી ડોટરના વેડિંગ હતા. એ ટાઈમમાં 2015 જૂનમાં we are ready for my daughter's wedding, like all the preparations going on. At that moment, one day, early in the morning, my son came and he said he has such a big pain in his leg. And પછી અમે એને ડૉક્ટર પાસે લઈ ગયા. On the same day, we find out he have a cancer. એટલે એક બાજુ ડૉક્ટરના વેડિંગ હતા અને કેન્સર ડિટેક્ટ થયું. એટલે it was a tough time. Cancer stayed like almost like any 5 વર્ષ સુધીનું આપણો જર્ની હતું. એમાં 3 times he relapsed, like એનું કેન્સર રિલેપ્સ થયું. જ્યારે લાસ્ટ ટાઈમ ડિટેક્ટ થયું ત્યારે it detect in his brain, and that time they had to do the surgery. And all this time it's like very, very difficult. But it's so much support and love from all the mandir and also all the Yuvaks and Kishore. Like anytime Sunny have a chemo in a hospital or at home, because sometimes he has an oral chemo too, always like 4 to 5 Kishores with him to support him. And I never forget those moments in my life, like what the support I get from everybody else. 2015 November, he become a doctor. He was announced as a doctor because he finished his journey. For his graduation, they arranged, like his friends and family, and mainly the Mandir friends, arranged his graduation in a hospital. And that time, his dean from the college and faculty members came, and all the doctors and all the nurses came on that graduation. That time, I never, I have no words for that. It's like when you think, like most of everybody think themselves, say why I'm the one, but he never asked why. And whenever he goes to the doctor or anywhere, whenever the doctors or nurses ask him, say how he's doing, always with a bright smile, he say, I am good. And being a doctor and being in the medical field, he knew it, which direction he's going. But at that time, the spiritually help us, like all the power of positivity come from the Swami Shri and Bhagwan and Mandir. That helps him. Mandir is like a power source of spiritual energy. And when you go to Mandir and do the darshan, you feel so much positivity in yourself. And you feel peace in your heart. And that's I always feel. I always, all this time and all these 5 years, I feel like some positive powers, like spiritual powers with me all the time to motivate me to do whatever I'm supposed to do. And I never had to think back for anything, because always Mandir helps me to think right.
So we go for scheduled C-section early in the morning, and he's born, and nothing was told to me. I was back in my room, and then find out that the doctors were confused because he looked different, and they didn't know what was going on. It was pretty much first case like that in Riverside Community Hospital, and he couldn't coordinate how to eat and breathe together. So they had to keep him in ICU for 21 days while they did all the diagnostic tests on him. And he has this feeding tube in an incubator, whole 9 yards. And they were saying that he may have Debuqua, which is 50 cases in the world. It has parts to it, which is achondroplasia, which means he would be short. So he has musculoskeletal dysplasia. All his bones are crooked. His patella was in the back, for which he had 2 surgeries, and it's still on the side. It hasn't gotten fixed. And Pigeon, he has scoliosis, kyphosis, and he can't hold his leg straight because of the patella being in the back. So doctors like, let's try do a surgery and see if it improves. We did surgery on both of his knees and find he was in a cast for 3 months after that. After we took off the cast, 2 months later, it went into bowl shape. Literally, his feet you put together, it's like a diamond shape together. When he was going to go for surgery, first surgery, I was trying to explain it to him that he can only go we can only go so far with him. And then it will be the doctors and nurses carrying him. And because of, again, medical field, I know that it's scary that to leave parents behind and go with nurses who you don't know, right? With all the medical equipment.
It was probably the most painful and toughest day of my life. I couldn't sleep, couldn't watch TV. It was probably the worst day on painkillers and everything.
As a mother, I wanted to ask him, I asked him, I said, Mandar, are you okay going? Are you afraid? Are you scared? What's going to happen? How the surgery is going to go? If concerned about pain? And he showed in his hand that he had murti of Nilkant Varni and Bapa, and he told me, he goes, Mom, Bapa and Maharaj is always with me. And when Maharaj and Swami is always with me, why am I going to be afraid? He would always take care of me. And I learned this in satsang from beginning, coming to Mandir. And every Sunday when I go to Mandir and Sabha, they tell us that, Maharaj and Swami is with me, and I learned that, and I believe it. So I'm not afraid going in surgery, and I think it's going to be okay because Bapa is with me.
Because I went to Mandir and attended Bal Sabha every week, I was able to get the samjhan that whatever Bapa and Maharaj do is for the better, and it helped me overcome the whole process.
It's the peace of mind that you get, the comfort that everything's going to be okay. And even if it's not, I'm still with you, and whatever would happen would be for the best.
Well, Mandir's always offered a brotherhood to me. All my friends are probably my go-to people. Whether they always help me at Mandir, no matter what. Whether it's like making a plate for me at Mandir, or after surgery pushing my wheelchair, or opening the door to the bathroom, like anything like that. And they've been there for me probably every step of the way.
Because I had listened Katha in Sunday, Mandir Ma Aiye every Sunday from growing up till now. I think that was all the Kathas heard at Mandir that kept me steady and stable. Even though it was my weakest moment, it was still strong. I was holding strong because of the Katha that I had heard at Mandir.
Being part of the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir community has been a life-changing experience for our family. The support system, the friendships, and the opportunities to give back have enriched every aspect of our lives.
From raising our children to navigating life's challenges, we found a community that's there for us every step of the way, both socially and personally.
When my mother had a stroke and was hospitalized for months, the outpouring of support from the community was incredible. People from the Mandir community visited us, they called us to check in on us, they brought us meals, and even took turns to stay with my mom at the hospital so that we could take a much needed break. The Mandir community didn't stop there. They even found a way to celebrate my mother's birthday despite her being in the hospital. Friends from the Mandir community came to the hospital and surprised her with a little celebration. Seeing her smile that day, despite everything, lifted all of our spirits. There's a reminder that no matter how hard things get, there's still joy and kindness around us.
પ્રશ્નો એવા હતા કે અમારા હસબન્ડને વ્યસન હતું. હી લવ ટુ ડ્રિંક. એ દારૂને એમને બહુ ગમતું હતું. સિગરેટ પણ હતી અને જુગાર પણ હતો જોડે.
It's odd when your first few memories of both your parents are loud and arguing.
The family was basically split up. It was them three against me, or me against them. But it was my fault because I used to drink heavy. I used to drink a whole bottle of scotch every night. I used to smoke 2.5 packs a day, which is like 40-50 cigarettes. I used to be a high roller, meaning I used to gamble.
બાપા 2000માં આવવાના હતા અને ત્યારે હું સાંજે આવીને ત્યારે સ્ટેજ પરથી અનાઉન્સમેન્ટ થયું કે તમારા છોકરાઓને જો આપણું કલ્ચર શીખવાડવું, આપણી સંસ્કૃતિ, તો અહીંયા લઈ આવજો એમ. તે 6 મહિના પહેલાં 4 મહિના પહેલાંની વાત છે. બાપા આવવાના હતા ને એના 4 મહિના પહેલાંની વાત. એટલે મને થયું કે લાવ એ બરાબર છે કે મારા છોકરાઓ ગુજરાતી કંઈક આપણું શીખશે, આપણી સંસ્કૃતિ શીખશે. એટલે પછી બીજા રવિવારથી હું એમને લાવવા માંડી.
Didn't know it then, but these are the friends that I still have today. 34 years old. Been 20 years. Been through a lot with all these guys. It's nice having a place outside of school, outside of your neighborhood, kind of away from everything, that you have other people. You don't know what's going on in their lives. They don't know what's going on in your life. And you're just learning.
Well, I mean, Mandir is a place where you find peace when there's none at home. There's no yelling, there's no screaming, there's no fighting at Mandir. It's just you, a like-minded group of peers, whether that's the Beno, that's the Kishores, that's the Vadios, or the Baraks in my case. Whether you get along with all of them is different, but there's no fear at Mandir.
There's lots of places that you can run away to. Lots of places in the world. But when the place actually solves the problem, that's a different answer. So while we were going to Mandir, initially, it helped my mom get away from home and do what she needed to do. And then she brought us there as another safe haven, and we connected in various ways. But ultimately, the reason for finding some solace somewhere, a physical place, a Mandir, that has to be solved.
Dad was by himself. And to be a man, like a grown adult man now, and to kind of see to feel even an inkling of what that might have been like for years, for Dad to have felt that. And through Mandir, Dad found a light, a connection, a piece of love that he didn't get at home.
I guess he had a friend, he took him to Mandir. Bapa's coming in 07, and there's seva to be done, maintenance seva, some sort. And so Dad just tagged along, and he was still dropping us off at Mandir, so it wasn't like a totally disconnected thing. But instead of dropping us at Mandir and going to a bar, he stayed and did seva or something. And Atlanta Mandir is being built too. So all those things led to just some touch point happened, independent of us.
And I still remember, it was 4th of June 2007. I stopped smoking, drinking, eating meat, gambling, everything. I stopped everything, one shot, against the advice of my doctors, against the advice of the Santos not to do that. They said, because there was a very high possibility that my brain would shrink, that I could die because of the high amount of alcohol and the nicotine that I used to consume every day. So, but I said, I want to be dry before Pramukh Swami comes. So I said, if I die, I die. But I'm going to stop. And I stopped.
Before, leading up to Bapa coming, we were all involved somehow, right? We all had some sort of volunteer effort in it. I was in a dance, a drama, kitchen, helping with the Santos, whatever it was, we're involved. And I remember after Bapa left, our family was different. I didn't really know my dad too much before Bapa came in 07. I chose not to. But all of the good memories of my dad, I think, came after that. So all the memories I keep close to heart now are after that moment.
It's not possible. It wasn't humanly possible for a guy who was so far out on vices to be able to come back. It had probably never happened before. And so nobody would believe it. Today, my kids want to be with me instead of not wanting to be with me. My wife wants to be with me rather than not want to be with me. That is what Mandir has done for me. That before Mandir, none of my wife, my kids, nobody wanted to be with me. But now they all want to be with me. So that, for me, that is a treasure that I can enjoy my grandkids and everything. Had it been before, I don't think they would even introduce me to their kids or to their wives. But that's what Mandir has done.
देखा जाए तो शुरुआत में जैसे शादी के बाद यहाँ पे आई, बच्चे हुए, तो उस टाइम पे ऐसे लगा था कि भई अरे बच्चों को संस्कार कैसे मिलेंगे? बच्चे यहाँ पे भारत की भूमि के इतने दूर है और संस्कार की चीज़ है तो फिर बच्चों को हम लोग घर में कितने भी दे सकते, लेकिन घर में एक लिमिटेशन होता है और बाहर में जाएँगे तो ये बच्चे सर्वाइव कैसे करेंगे? हमारी संस्कृति का उन्हें पहचान कैसे होगी? उनको अपने संस्कार का ज्ञान कैसे होगा? शायद इस उलझन में थे और भगवान ने रास्ता दिखा दिया। मंदिर में एक बार गए थे, वहाँ पे हरिभक्तों ने बहुत अच्छे से मंदिर क्या-क्या करता है इसके बारे में हमें जानकारी दिया।
हमारी शुरुआत सेवा से हुई, लेकिन सत्संग परिवार का इतना सपोर्ट हुआ कि आपको अभी सेवा में जैसे आनंद मिला वैसे अभी सभा में भी आपको आना है। शुरुआत में नहीं समझ में आता था, लेकिन धीरे धीरे कैसे बहुत सारे वर्ड हिंदी में है तो वैसे ही हमको समझ में आ जाते हैं, और जो नहीं समझ में आया था वो सब हरिभक्तों की मदद की वजह से वो भी आ गया। और अभी तो हमारे बच्चे गुजराती में क्लासेस भी ज्वाइन करते, तो गुजराती 2nd और 3rd ग्रेड में है। और अभी जो रवि सभा में जो भी होती है उसके लिए हम लोग को ट्रांसलेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है। 80-90% तो हम ही समझ लेते हैं, क्योंकि अभी पिछले 4 सालों से रेगुलरली एवरी रवि सभा हम अटेंड करते हैं।
क्योंकि मंदिर में सब अच्छी चीज़ें बच्चों को सिखाते थे और बुरी चीज़ें जो नहीं करनी है वो भी सिखाते थे, क्योंकि वो अच्छा बुरा बच्चों को समझना, बच्चे की एज पे समझना मुश्किल है, क्योंकि ये बच्चे बाहर जाके स्कूल में कुछ अलग सीखते हैं। स्कूल में जो वातावरण है वो अलग है और जो मंदिर का वातावरण है, मंदिर में आने वाले जो लोग हैं उनका वातावरण अलग है।
जो भी चीज़ें हमारे सत्संग में बताई गई है उन सभी का हमने पालन करना जितना हो सके उतना शुरू किया। नॉनवेज बंद
और प्याज लहसुन डूंगरी लहसुन बंद हो गया, खाना भी बिल्कुल जैसे मंदिर जैसा हो गया।
छोटी छोटी बातों में सत्संग में जो हम लोग सीखते हैं उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बच्चों में भी जब दिखता है तो सबसे ज़्यादा आनंद होता है। जैसे कि अभी चॉकलेट अपन खरीदते हैं तो चॉकलेट में वो खुद देखते कि इसके अंदर एग्स है तो हम नहीं ले सकते। जब क्लास में जाते हैं, स्कूल में जाते हैं, किसी का बर्थडे है तो कप केक लेके आते हैं, कोई डोनट्स लेके आते हैं, तो उनको पता है कि
एग्स खाना नहीं है, फिर प्याज लहसुन खाना नहीं है।
तो ये चीज़ देख के बच्चों में जो सत्संग में दृढ़ता आ रही है, बच्चों का जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है वो देख के हम और इंस्पायर होते हैं कि इतनी अच्छी चीज़ आज हमको मिली है। किसी भी BAPS स्वामीनारायण मंदिर में हम जाते हैं तो हमें हमारे एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली से मिल रहे हैं ऐसा ही लगता है। हर कोई बहुत आत्मीयता से बात करता है।
One of the most unique features of BAPS mandirs is that, of course, we have the mandir itself, but alongside the mandir, there are so many spiritual activities that are also taking place where individuals from different walks of life will come and gather together with this spiritual focus and this intent to better themselves in a way that's inspiring to all those around them. I think the mandir allows me to perform so many different forms of devotion and strengthen my connection with Bhagwan. And one of the ways in which it does this is the act of performing darshan. And when I go to do darshan in front of the murtis, it's this realization that it's not just admiring the beautiful vagas or just offering my own prayers to Maharaj and Swami, but it's also recognizing that I'm beholding their very form in front of me. And it's an opportunity for me to seek their blessings. It's an opportunity for me to listen to what their guidance is, have this open dialogue with them in a way that allows me to feel peace inside. It allows me to place all the worries that I might be carrying with me throughout the week, throughout the day, to a side and recognize that I have Bhagwan by my side. I have Bhagwan protecting me and guarding me. I mean, it's so hard to quantify a priceless gift. And that's truly what I see the mandir as, a priceless gift in my life, and to so many of us. There's the element of being able to come to it and experience this kind of comfort and warmth and solace by just standing in front of the murtis and really beholding the form of Bhagavan in front of you and recognizing that they're ever present and with you by your side, protecting you in so many ways, and getting the strength and confidence from that. That's what makes it priceless.
Growing up, and I've seen the growth over the years, from the home-to-home sabas, then buying a temple in Chicago, the Glen Ellen Mandir, and then so I think what showed that sense of pride was when I remember my daughter was in 5th grade, and they have a class, or they have a small section on Hinduism. I think they study different religions and different people, demographic of the world. And so she comes home one time, she goes, "Hey Dad, you do tours, right?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Our teacher, is talking about Hinduism. Can you invite them to come to the mandir?" And she goes, "Do we have a flyer to give my teacher?" So I think it shows that, hey, even our kids who are born here, they have this pride, they have this place of worship, place to give them an identity. And I think just seeing her at the age of 10 saying that, hey, look at this beautiful mandir that we built for the community.
Not just in big metropolitan cities, but even in the smallest towns across America, mandirs have become beacons of spiritual growth and cultural identity. They provide a place where individuals can deepen their faith, they can celebrate their heritage, and they can connect with others who share similar values.
Through satsang, mandirs nurture inner growth and create a strong sense of community, regardless of location.
From Cincinnati, Ohio.
Seattle, Washington.
Chicago, Illinois.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Bloomington, Illinois.
Gateway, North Carolina.
Calgary, Alberta.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Northern Virginia.
Bloomington, Illinois.
Los Angeles, California.
Tampa, Florida.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Toronto, Canada.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Chattanooga, Georgia.
Windsor, Ontario.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Over the past 50 years in North America, the vision of Pramukh Swami Maharaj and his spiritual successor, Mahant Swami Maharaj, to establish over 100 mandirs across the USA and Canada have had a tremendous impact on the lives of thousands, nurturing faith and values.
Yet their vision extends far beyond our horizon. Far into centuries to come, Pramukh Swami Maharaj sought to build something that would become a timeless symbol of harmony, culture, and service for generations to come. Beyond the traditional mandirs, he envisioned a masterpiece that would highlight not only the grandeur and depth of Hindu philosophy, art, and values to the entire world. It would be a place where people of all backgrounds could experience the essence of Hinduism and see how its timeless teachings could uplift society and foster unity. For that vision, we would make one final journey.